And we're recording again.
Hey, Tiara.
Hey, Martina.
What are we going to talk about now?
Well, I thought we could give a little idea. So I've created this whole 7-day outline. This is my iPad with the outline. And I thought I would
Gorgeous.
talk about some of the games just to give people an idea of what I am talking about. So some of them, like we'll begin with a little mingle and have things that we learn about each other, that kind of stuff. And you came up with the thing of type warm-up. So for instance, for generators, it would be just get some questions going so that our sacrals get activated. We're going to have a teaching each day. So the first, we'll begin in an evening. The first day will be an evening. We'll begin at 6 o'clock so that people can travel that day and it's not stressful. And then the next day, we're going to have a teaching each morning. So the teaching the first day is going to be variable. And we'll do little exercises to group ourselves, like who has strategic minds go over there and who has receptive minds go over here, and just start having conversations amongst ourselves in our own groups, but then also between the groups. And then I have us playing Truth or Dare. So Truth or Dare is you get dared to something or you tell the truth about something, and people can come up with, questions that they'll ask for truth telling. And then I thought the dares could be to actually do a correct behavior from an open center. So for you, for example, with the open emotion, your dare would be to tell someone the truth, to confront something and tell someone the truth. That would be a type of dare. I know, you're already scared, aren't you?
Why would I do that?
I also have us doing, writing and drawing and things like that, just to process things in between some of the things that we do. You can always tell me the truth about something. And then, and so then the other game I have, it's based on this game that my mother used to watch when I was a child in the States, and it's called To Tell the Truth. And there would be some story about some not famous but exceptional person of some sort, and then 3 or 4 people would stand up and they would say the name of the person, like I'm Jimmy Fallon or whatever, and then the contestants would have to ask them questions to determine who is really Jimmy Fallon. And in my version of the game, we would get up and have, say, 3 people get up and declare something, like, I'm defined emotionally. No, I'm defined emotionally. I'm the emotional one, and then the people would ask questions to determine how do we tell if someone's emotional, or we could do it with the ego or with a specific channel. The 2343 is such a great channel. And so that's one of the games I have us playing. And then the second
great.
The second day, the teaching's going to be on PHS, and I really want to go into, we'll go into the colors, we'll go into the tones, we'll go into the binaries, and do some experimenting, like literally, like we'll have a different foods, and so I'm designed to determine if I'm to eat something, for example, if it's food, by putting it actually in my mouth, other people smelling it, other people looking at it, other people closing their eyes, some people feeling the vibe, touching it, and that we would actually have some different foods that we could practice that with. And not just, now I tasted it and I ate it, but how did I feel? And if people were trying to get my attention while I was doing that, that would be part of the equation as well, because I'm also a 52-9 and don't want to be bothered when I'm eating, and for some people, of course, high sound, and for others low sound. And so there's the colors and the tones that we'll play with and really bring it into the body, not as something to overlay on the body, but actually invite the body to. So many questions I hear these days are like, well, I'm designed for for cold. Does that mean I should make all my food cold before I eat it? And I'd rather hear the question being asked of the body than of the mind. So the question would be, what happens if I let my food cool off? What happens if I don't? And if it's this cool versus really cooler, what happens? What happens in my body? And even more specifically, what happens in my brain? How well am I thinking? Because PHS is directly nourishing the brain and the cognition. And when our cognition is working better, everything gets a little easier. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And one of the first things I learned about human design is that it's the awareness of body consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so for me, I do really well when I just listen to my body. But living in a fast-paced world, when do I get the chance to do that? Not very often. So I think this 7 days or 6.5 days of fun and games is an opportunity to really get into the body and see what comes out of that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm someone who's always been really connected to my body. I have some little tiny thing on my finger, and I'm like, ah. So it was quite surprising for me to realize that a lot of people are not feeling their bodies. And yeah, I want to really encourage. And again, it's not about right and wrong. It's about what works. It's about the practicality of it all. And so, mechanics are practical. That's why I love them. I have a fifth line body. It wants that practical. It wants to universalize what works. And to me, this is the most practical way I've come up with of supporting and encouraging and empowering people to be in their designs.
That sounds amazing. I can't wait for the week to start.
I know, it's going to be so fun.
It's going to be amazing.
Okay, I'm stopping the recording.